Welcome to Lesson 6-1, Lines and Angles. But mostly we're going to focus on lines today. I can draw and describe points, parallel, perpendicular, and intersecting lines. In order to be successful, I must create something to demonstrate my understanding of points and lines. So, I don't know if you guys can see this on my screen, but there's some weird image in my way. We'll see if it goes away. Okay, so we're going to start out by talking about a point. When we're talking about geometry, a point is actually a dot. And it is named by a capital letter. So this point right here would be point B. A line is just a straight path that goes on forever in both directions. When you draw a line, you put arrows on each end to show it goes on forever. So line AB has arrows at both ends, so it goes on forever. A line segment is part of a line. It has two ends, which are called end points. Segments are named by their end points. So these are line segment CD and line segment AB. Parallel lines are another type of line. They go on forever and never, ever, ever touch. So if I was to extend both of these lines, they're parallel because they never touch each other. Perpendicular lines are another type of line, and they always intersect and make right angles. So, just like these. All right, let's get out your marker boards, and I would like to know what kind of lines are these? If you said perpendicular, you are correct. We can see the 90-degree or right angles that these lines make. If we're looking at these lines right here, on your marker board, tell me what type of lines they are. You are correct. Those are perpendicular. Now, tell me what type of lines you see here. Well, these two lines are neither parallel nor are they perpendicular because they do not make right angles. There's no way to make a square angle. These are what we just call intersecting lines. They are neither parallel nor are they perpendicular. What kind of lines do you see here? Write it on your marker board. If you said parallel, you are correct. We see parallel lines on our streets all the time. So when you think about how roads are designed and painted, there is a lot of math and specifically geometry involved. If one of these roads, if the lines were not parallel, you could have cars crashing into each other. It would be a really bad consequence. All right, now we're going to do some challenges. So we're looking at a map of a street. Name the street on the map below that appears to be parallel to Mulberry Street. Write it on your marker board. Well, here we see Mulberry Street. Parallel lines never ever intersect. The only line that never intersects would be Allen Street. Oak Street would eventually intersect with Mulberry. Jefferson Street is actually perpendicular to Mulberry, and Court Street is just an intersecting line. Okay, so Victor drew this figure in his notebook. Looking at it, what would you say is the best name for Victor's figure? Is it an angle, a line segment, or a ray? It is not an angle because that would take two lines. It is not a ray. A ray would have one endpoint and an arrow. It is not a line segment because a line segment would have two endpoints. This one does not have any endpoints. It just has two arrows. Therefore, it has to be a line. Now we're looking at a more complicated figure. Adam drew these lines. Which line appears to be perpendicular to line BC? To solve this, first I'm going to find line BC, which is right here. Then I'm going to think about what perpendicular means. Perpendicular is when two lines intersect and have right angles. So you could make a square. That would be perpendicular. So I'm looking for a line that is perpendicular. Well, if I start with line AC, let's see. That line is going to intersect, but not, I can't draw a perfect square. So it's just going to be an intersecting line, so that can't be it. Line DE would be right here. Again, this is not a right angle. Can't draw a perfect square like I could here. So line DE would just be intersecting. That leaves line AB, which does have right angles. So our answer would have to be AB. Okay, so today, guys, you learned the different types of lines.